Yep, that seems strong.
Is it a bird? A plane? Nope. It's all the most anticipated superhero movies coming in 2026 and 2027. So let's jump in. Supergirl. Supergirl is finally getting her own movie, hitting theaters on June 26, 2026 as part of James Gunn's DCU Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. Supergirl is swinging into theaters almost a year after Superman hits this July. In James Gunn's DCU plan, that makes it the fourth project in Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters. Fans originally thought it'd come after the Lantern series in early 2026, but the schedule shifted, and the Peacemaker Season 2 finale ended up being the last DCU release before Supergirl. During filming earlier this year, Gunn shared some first-look pics of Millie Alcock on set in the UK back in January and again in March. Filming officially wrapped in May, so things are moving along. Even with the year-long gap between Superman and Supergirl, Gunn confirmed this is definitely the next DCU movie. He told Omelette, "I didn't necessarily know that Supergirl would be the second movie we were going to make. We're going to do this movie after Superman because he was the best option." Basically, he's all about quality over speed. The official plot for Supergirl via Variety says that for her 21st birthday, Kara Zor-El jets across the galaxy with her dog Krypto, meets a young woman named Ruthie, and ends up on a murderous quest for revenge. The movie is based on Tom King's comic, which has a similar setup. Kara's celebrating her birthday in space, Krypto in tow, and she gets involved in Ruthie's mission for vengeance after her father's death. James Gunn has teased that the movie is a full-on space adventure, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, though leaked set footage suggests Kara might spend more time on Earth than expected. Fans already got a taste of her personality in her cameo in Superman. She storms into the Fortress of Solitude to grab Krypto, who immediately attacks her. Superman explains that she likes to party on planets with red suns because it lets her get drunk. On her way out, she even shouts, "Thanks for watching him, bitch." Gunn called her a total mess, noting her background is way rougher than Superman's, who had a loving, stable upbringing. As for the title, the movie has dropped the Woman of Tomorrow part and is officially just Supergirl. Gunn explained he's done with the classic superhero colon plus subtitle naming trend like he did with Superman. Millie Alcock is stepping into the role of Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, and James Gunn has raved about her edge, grace, and authenticity, even calling it maybe the best casting he's ever done. Matthias Schoenaerts is playing the main villain, Krem of the Yellow Hills, and Eve Ridley is Ruthie, the young girl Kara befriends. Other confirmed cast members include David Krumholtz as Zor-El, Emily Beecham as Supergirl's mom, and Jason Momoa making his DCU debut as Lobo, though his role might be small since his time on set was brief. There's also a chance we could see David Cornswit's Superman, but nothing's official yet. The movie is being directed by Craig Gillespie. No trailer yet. Filming started in January 2025 and wrapped in May, so we'll probably have to wait a little while. If Gunn follows the same schedule as he did with Superman, we might see the first Supergirl trailer drop around November or December 2025. Masters of the Universe. Fans are already buzzing about the new Masters of the Universe live-action film, even though it's still in post-production. A secret test screening recently gave some lucky viewers a peek at the unfinished film, and the early word? Amazing. Of course, take it with a grain of salt since it's just one reaction, but it's still encouraging for a reboot this hyped. Mattel Studios president Robbie Brenner even got to see a director's cut and said she was blown away, calling it a perfect companion to Barbie in the theatrical lineup. The trailer is reportedly on the way, and leaks suggest it'll show Prince Adam on Earth, figuring out his lineage with Cringer by his side, heading to Eternia, and meeting familiar faces like Skeletor and Evil Lyn. And yes, there's the classic moment where he raises the sword and yells, "I have the power!" followed by He-Man in action. Masters of the Universe hits theaters on June 5th, 2026. The cast includes Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam He-Man, Camila Mendes as Teela, Jared Leto as Keldor Skeletor, Alison Brie as Evil Lyn, Idris Elba as Man-at-Arms, Sam C. Wilson as Trapjaw, Habfor Julius Bjornsson as Goatman, Kojo Atta as Triclops, Marina Baccarin as Sorceress, and Kristen Wiig as Roboto, among others. Travis Knight is directing, with Chris Butler writing and Jason Blumenthal, Robbie Brenner, Steve Tisch, and Todd Black producing. Spider-Man Brand New Day. Spider-Man 4 is swinging back, with Tom Holland returning as Peter Parker for the first time in 5 years. Officially titled Spider-Man Brand New Day, the film hits theaters on July 31, 2026 as part of Marvel Phase 6, pushed back a week from its original date, likely to avoid overlapping with Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, also starring Holland. The movie connects Fantastic Four First Steps and Avengers Doomsday, featuring both familiar faces and new characters. John Bernthal's Punisher will make his big screen debut, and rumors suggest an animated character may appear in live action, though details are under wraps. Filming began last month in Glasgow and has moved to Levesden Studios in Watford. Production paused briefly after Holland was hospitalized following a stunt incident, though Marvel has not indicated any delay. A trailer is likely in early 2026, following Marvel's Phase 6 pattern. The cast includes Holland, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon, reprising their roles as Peter, MJ, and Ned, though their characters' knowledge of Peter's identity remains uncertain post No Way Home. Sadie Sink joins in a currently undisclosed role, possibly hinting at a Spider-Man X-Men crossover. Marvin Jones III may bring his Into the Spider-Verse character Tombstone to live action, and Mark Ruffalo could return as Hulk. Sony's Amy Pascal confirmed the film will feature many new female characters. Holland emphasized honoring Peter Parker's character, citing his engagement with fans to ensure the story resonates. Plot details remain scarce, but Brand New Day suggests a fresh start for Peter. Holland noted it will address the cliffhanger from No Way Home, where Peter sacrificed personal connections to protect the multiverse. The title also nods to the 2008 comic storyline where Peter made a deal with Mephisto, which could align with No Way Home's events and Mephisto's appearance in Ironheart. Set photos indicate events around December 2027, linking to Thunderbolts and suggesting the film will combine street-level threats with broader MCU integration, potentially paving the way for post-Secret Wars X-Men. Early photos hint at a clash between Spider-Man and the Punisher, highlighting Peter's struggle with lethal methods versus his no-killing code. Spider-Man Brand New Day promises nostalgia, new characters, and MCU crossovers. Holland's Peter Parker will navigate personal stakes, returning friends and new dynamics, offering heart, action, and a launchpad for the next MCU era. Filming is underway and the countdown to July 31st has officially begun. Clayface. Clayface is set to be a dark, horror-infused entry in the DC Universe, arriving on September 11, 2026, as the third film in Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters. Directed by James Watkins and written by Mike Flanagan and Hossein Amini, the film stars Tom Rhys-Harris as Matt Hagen, Naomi Ackie as Dr. Caitlin Bates, and Max Minghella as a Gotham detective. Producers include James Gunn, Peter Safran, Matt Reeves, and Lynn Harris. The project has been in development for years, with Flanagan pitching the idea to DC Studios in 2023. Watkins joined as director in 2025, Amini rewrote the script, and the cast came together mid-year. Filming began in August 2025, with location shoots in Liverpool and studio work at Warner Bros. Levesden wrapping in November. Clayface reimagines the classic villain with a modern body horror twist. Matt Hagen, a rising actor disfigured by a gangster, returns to Dr. Caitlin Bates, a fringe scientist whose experimental methods transform him into a living clay entity. Minghella's detective, romantically linked to Bates, adds tension as Hagen's powers blur the line between ally and adversary. Eddie Marsan also joins in an undisclosed role. Watkins' horror expertise is expected to shine, emphasizing the grotesque and unpredictable nature of Hagen's shape-shifting abilities while exploring the character's tragic humanity. Themes of identity, obsession, and the psychological toll of transformation take center stage, making Clayface a more suspenseful, character-driven take than typical superhero fare. The film fits DCU's darker, mature approach in Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters, presenting a psychologically complex anti-hero in Gotham City. Visual effects will combine practical techniques and CGI to depict Clayface's morphing abilities, with sequences likely leaning into body horror rather than conventional action spectacle. While crossover appearances remain unconfirmed, the film's standalone narrative promises tension focusing on Hagen's tragic journey and Bates' ethical dilemmas. Avengers Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday is set to hit theaters on December 18, 2026 as part of Marvel Phase 6. The film marks a major surprise. Robert Downey Jr. returns, not as Iron Man, but as Dr. Doom. The movie also sets up the sequel, Avengers Secret Wars, confirmed for 2027. The film has faced delays, originally scheduled for May 1, 2026, due to the gargantuan vision of the production. Filming is wrapped, though Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers plan additional photography. Despite starting without a finished script, the cast eventually received a complete screenplay, confirmed by X-Men star Alan Cumming. The cast is massive. Chris Hemsworth returns as Thor, with Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn as Sue and Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four. Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan lead the new Avengers as Sam Wilson Captain America and Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier, joined by Wyatt Russell, Florence Pugh, Louis Pullman, David Harbour, Hannah John Kamen, and Danny Ramirez. Returning favorites include Letitia Wright, Paul Rudd, Simu Liu, Tena Huerta Mejia, Winston Duke, Jeremy Renner, Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Holland, Haley Atwell, Benedict Wong, and potentially Chris Evans and Ryan Reynolds. The X-Men also appear: Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as Professor X and Magneto, Rebecca Romijn as Mystique, James Marsden as Cyclops, Kelsey Grammer as Beast, Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler, and Channing Tatum as Gambit. Pedro Pascal, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, and Mabel Cadena join as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, Ben Grimm the Thing, and Namora, respectively. Plot details remain under wraps, but Doom's involvement hints at multiverse-level stakes. Post-credit scenes in Fantastic Four feature Franklin Richards meeting Doom, likely foreshadowing his role in the upcoming Avengers storyline. Downey Jr. teased the character's intentions with a cryptic Instagram post referencing Secret Wars and Iron Man, Legacy of Doom. Comics precedent, such as West Coast Avengers number 35, suggests Doom may manipulate or use Franklin's powers for his goals. Recent leaks show superhero teams together on what appears to be a spaceship, hinting at Avengers Thunderbolts and X-Men Avengers interactions, possibly even clashes. Set reveals and live streams suggest that the Fantastic Four and Doom will play central roles, while multiverse implications and unresolved Kang storylines could feature heavily. Michael Waldron, writer of Loki and Doctor Strange 2, took over from Jeff Loveness and is also handling Avengers Secret Wars. The first trailer for Doomsday is expected to drop on December 19, 2025, alongside Avatar Fire and Ash screenings. With its unprecedented ensemble, high-stakes story, and multiversal chaos, Avengers Doomsday promises to be one of Marvel's most ambitious and star-studded films yet. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, the final chapter in the Spider-Verse trilogy, will hit U.S. theaters on June 18, 2027. The film picks up after Across the Spider-Verse, with Miles Morales trapped in an alternate universe while trying to save his family. Directed by Bob Pereschetti and Justin K. Thompson, with a screenplay by Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, and David Callahan, the movie features Miles, Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman, Spider-Punk, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Man India, and The Spot, along with returning supporting characters like Tombstone and Spider-Man 2099. The delay from 2024 allows the team to perfect the highly detailed animation and deliver a satisfying conclusion to the acclaimed trilogy. Man of Tomorrow. Superman and Lex Luthor will team up against the formidable villain Brainiac in Man of Tomorrow. Production on the film is set to begin in Atlanta in April, with the release date scheduled for July 9, 2027. Since the announcement of Man of Tomorrow, fans have speculated that Brainiac would be the film's primary antagonist. Multiple indicators support this theory, most notably the movie's focus on a temporary alliance between Superman and Lex Luthor. Given the depth of their rivalry and the intensity of Luthor's hatred, it would take a threat of monumental scale to bring the two together, even briefly. This tentative team-up is hinted at in a climactic scene in Superman, where Corenswet's Man of Steel tells Holt's Luthor that he hopes, for the sake of the world, Luthor chooses to act with his humanity. Director James Gunn addressed this dynamic during a press conference for the finale of Peacemaker Season 2. When asked by The Wrap what kind of threat could persuade Lex, who ends Peacemaker in a comfortable position, to join forces with his greatest enemy, Gunn teased simply, a pretty pronounced one. Lex Luthor is mostly concerned about Lex Luthor, Gunn said, so we'll see what threatens Lex Luthor. Brainiac fits that description perfectly. As a super-intelligent villain whose intellect rivals Luthor's, he presents a credible reason for the genius billionaire to temporarily ally with the superpowered Superman. Gunn further teased Brainiac as the film's antagonist when he shared the Man of Tomorrow screenplay cover, which features a human skull with an exposed brain. Fans might have expected Brainiac's appearance in Man of Tomorrow simply because the character has long been a staple of Superman lore. The hyper-intelligent Coluan alien is arguably the most popular Superman adversary after Lex Luthor, yet he has never served as the primary villain in a live-action Superman film, unless one counts the sentient computer in Superman 3. Over the years, Brainiac has often been overlooked in favor of Lex, General Zod, or Doomsday. Despite this, Brainiac remains a central figure in Superman canon. Created by Otto Binder and Al Plastino, he first appeared in Action Comics number 242 in 1958, predating other iconic Superman foes like General Zod and Supergirl. That story introduced the green-skinned alien Brainiac, who travels through space with a white monkey-like companion named Coco, shrinking cities and bottling them for his own collection. In the same story, Superman discovers that Brainiac has bottled the Kryptonian capital, Kandor, before Krypton's destruction. Over the decades, Brainiac has evolved into a far more menacing adversary while retaining his core traits, a green-skinned, bald, world-conquering genius whose intellect matches his physical threat. Often depicted as a cyborg from the planet Kolu, Brainiac roams the universe, seeking to dominate civilizations and expand his knowledge, sometimes transferring his consciousness into new bodies to achieve immortality. The bottle city of Kandor has remained a key element of Superman's story, symbolizing both his loneliness and the challenges even he cannot overcome. Kandor also has ties to Supergirl, with her parents sometimes depicted as residents of the city in various continuities. Though Brainiac has not yet appeared as a live-action film villain, he has featured prominently in numerous DC projects, including Superman the Animated Series, Smallville, Krypton, and video games like Injustice 2 and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. In comics, Brainiac has been central to many high-profile storylines, most notably Jeff Johns and Gary Frank's 2008 arc, Superman Brainiac, which remains one of the most acclaimed Superman stories, portraying him as a truly terrifying and epic threat. Avengers Secret Wars. Avengers Secret Wars is set for December 17, 2027, concluding both the Multiverse Saga and Marvel Phase 6. Directed by the Russo brothers, the film follows Avengers Doomsday and will adapt elements of the 2015 Secret Wars comics, where the Beyonders attempt to collapse the multiverse through incursions and Doctor Doom rises as the God Emperor of Battleworld. The movie builds on previous MCU multiverse storylines from Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home, Loki Season 2, and Deadpool and Wolverine, with hints that Deadpool and Merc with a Mouth may have a larger role. Confirmed cast includes Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, the Fantastic Four, and the Thunderbolts. While many other heroes and villains are expected to appear, including Thor, Miles Morales, Wolverine, and Kang the Conqueror, Marvel has kept additional casting under wraps. Kevin Feige has emphasized that Secret Wars will both conclude ongoing arcs and set up the future of the MCU, hinting at a potential timeline reset while delivering a major multiverse showdown. Well, that's it for today. Let me know which superhero movie you are most excited for in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be covering more updates on this soon and other exciting upcoming movies and series. We'll see you next time.